Thank you, Chair Nels and Ranking Member Wilson, for holding today's hearing on rail safety. Ensuring safety in every mode of transportation should always be this committee's top priority. Since the Norfolk Southern derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, committee Democrats have been calling for a rail safety hearing and rail safety legislation. In May of 2023, every T&I Democrat signed a letter asking for a rail safety hearing, highlighting the dozens of outstanding rail safety recommendations from the National Transportation Safety Board. Now that the NTSB has issued its final report on the derailment, Subcommittee Chair Nels, along with Committee Democrats Representatives Moulton, Sykes, and DeLuzio, have introduced rail safety legislation. Today's hearing is an opportunity to hear a variety of perspectives on the NTSB's final report, which includes more than 30 additional rail safety recommendations, several of which require congressional action. Nearly a year and a half ago, we all watched as the giant plume of toxic fumes was released into the sky after the Norfolk Southern derailment. Fortunately, no one died as a result of the derailment, but it remains a stark reminder of why we need to be vigilant about rail safety. That's why T&I Democrats held a rail safety roundtable in March to hear from communities and rail workers impacted by rail accidents. Mayor Frank Moran of Hiram, Georgia, told members that legislation concerning blocked crossings would help his community. National League of Cities Executive Director Clarence Anthony told members that thousands of communities across the country support common sense rail safety legislation. Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen National Legislative Representative Vince Verna expressed concern that the freight railroads continue to pile on to the tally of rail accidents and derailments. Sheet Metal, Air, Rail, and Transportation Workers International Representative Peter Kennedy said Congress needs to make freight rail safety a priority because meaningful change is needed in the industry. And Anna Sevidas, an owner of a small business in East Palestine, Ohio, highlighted how this dangerous derailment devastated her community. Meanwhile, rail safety accidents and incidents continue to occur. Over the last decade, the trends have not improved. In Washington State alone, there are 193 train accidents, 71 grade crossing incidents, and 167 railroad right-of-way trespasser fatalities over the last 5 years, including a Burlington Road Santa Fe derailment that spilled over 3,000 gallons of diesel fuel on the Swinomish Indian Reservation in March of 2023. While trains are getting longer, freight railroads continue to shrink their workforce. From 2015 to 22, Class 1 railroads laid off 55% of mechanical employees, 44% of locomotive repair employees, and 43% of rail car repair employees. And in 2023, there were 114 more rail accidents than in 22. So I look forward to this committee passing legislation to address rail safety concerns. The Rail Safety Enhancement Act contains the language that passed out of the Senate Commerce Committee last May. It addresses NTSB recommendations to expand the high hazard flammable trains definition, establish requirements for wayside bearing defect detectors, and accelerate the removal of DOT 111 tank cars from flammable liquids service. The bill also provides needed funding for hazardous materials emergency responder training. And importantly, it mandates the Class 1 railroads to join the Federal Railroad Administration's confidential close call reporting system. And the bipartisan infrastructure law, BIL, supercharged investment in rail with $102 billion in planned funding. Many of these investments will improve safety, along with making service improvements. And last year, the city of Blaine in my district, for instance, received a $9.5 million RAISE grant to begin work on the Bell Road BNSF at-grade crossing. That town can now begin to resolve the issues at the crossing that I first heard about more than 20 years ago as a freshman member of the House of Representatives. And I'm pleased that project is advancing to improve safety and accessibility, reduce congestion, create jobs, and keep the regional economy moving. The BIL also includes $3 billion to separate or close grade crossings through the Railroad Crossing Elimination Grant Program and $5 billion to enhance the safety, efficiency, and reliability of rail through the Consolidated Rail Infrastructure and Safety Improvement, or CRISI, grant program. I expect great results for communities from these grants and additional rail funding to come, but there is more to do. So I thank the chair, I thank the ranking member, and the witnesses, including our new member of the House of Representatives from Ohio. I look forward to hearing all their testimony. With that, I yield back.